Hey everyone, Grayson the Bard here, and welcome back to day 71 of the Hunted Day. Today, we are fighting the devil, the biblical Christian devil, in the form of a monkey. Today we are fighting Volzhang, who is the origin species monster of Rajang. As a brief reminder, origin species monsters are monsters that are meant to be ancestors of current modern day in the Monster Hunter sense, monsters. They are like the earlier point of the evolutionary tree where there are still a couple like versions of those monsters roaming around. And Volzhang is absolutely wild. So getting a good look at this guy, Volzhang is very much that Rajang skeleton, has the very simian face, but his hands and arms and legs are all covered in these like scaly rock formations that are flint. They are combustible rock, and he commands the fire element not by being made of fire or by harnessing some kind of internal fire organ. No, Volzhang harnesses the fire element by just straight up lighting himself on fire. He is a self-immolation monster, and that is metal as hell. Instead of the more standard bull horns that Rajang usually has, his horns are now very like long, pointed upwards, almost like the standard like depictions of demons in old Renaissance art. He's got those big, long, upward-facing horns, and he visually is a really cool monster. I love that this is the most like straight up demon that or devil that we have ever seen in Monster Hunter. It's really cool to see, and it is weirdly more grounded than the Basarios Gravios origin species that we fought a couple days back. It doesn't have any massive like pipes sticking out of its body. It's definitely spikier, but the spikes are they feel more natural, and they don't feel like they are slammed on there to be additional spikes. I don't know, I really like the way this dude looks. Especially when he lights himself on fire. It is absolutely horrifying to look at. And this thing in a modern graphics engine would rip. And also absolutely obliterate a lot of PCs with like all the particle effects going on. You'll see during this hunt, I have a pretty powerful PC now, and it completely tanked my frame rate in a couple places because of just everything going on with this fight. In terms of the fight, it is fairly straightforward. He does a lot of the standard Rajang moves, while also incorporating more projectile-based attacks. He throws fire. His breath beam attack is replaced with a fire element beam in place of thunder. He'll occasionally huck fireballs at you from across the map. They have very big splash effects, a lot bigger than you might want them to be. But the absolute coolest move he does in this hunt is he will do the Rajang thing where he rips a chunk of ground out of the ground, throws it high into the air, hits it with a fireball, which causes it to splinter and shower flaming rock shards down on the battlefield, and that is dope. That's real cool. He also does this move that I have a really hard time avoiding, where he will make a ring of fire through the air and then jump through it like he is a circus performer, which for some reason causes the ring to explode outward in a very big area of effect that is not telegraphed well exactly where that area of effect ends, and I always seem to get caught in it despite trying my best to be out of the way. This is a really cool origin species monster. It takes what's cool about Rajang, the very fast, very aggressive monster type, and while Rajang very much is very physical, Volzhang does a lot of more projectile ranged attacks, and I like the difference between the two a lot. In terms of whether or not it's going to appear in wilds, I think it has a pretty good chance. I've said before, I think that origin species are pretty likely to return in wilds, just with how we already have that story beat of the flagship monster being a monster that the guild previously thought was extinct. It fits that kind of, that vibe of like having origin monsters show up. These monsters that were previously thought extinct, ancient ancestors of current monsters that are still kind of roaming around this Forbidden Land area. And with how popular Rajang is and how it has skipped very few games since its introduction, I would not be surprised if it was one of the ones that showed up. So I think it's going to be pretty high up there. I'm going to say it's still a very weird subspecies, so it may it's like it's hard to say, but I'm gonna put it like a 7-ish out of 10 to return in wilds, and then a little bit lower because of the origin species being kind of tied to a story element beat. I would say maybe like 4 out of 10 to return in a future non-wilds game, but a 7 out of 10 for wilds. Before I wrap up, I recently discovered, you saw me use them in the Inagami fight as well, but I kind of forgot they existed until I was doing this fight too. There's a mechanic in Frontier that I am so happy exists. There's an item called Hulk Potions that essentially give you a 70% damage decrease. So you take 70% damage for the entirety of the hunt, even if you faint. And they are like a MMO mechanic login reward. You get them, like, you get a couple every day when you log in, and you can get them through events and stuff like that. But they essentially let you play Monster Hunter Frontier like a regular Monster Hunter game. So you're going to see me using those a lot more as the hunts continue to get more and more, just absolutely wild. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you who has been checking these out. It's been a lot of fun to continue to do this, and we are closing in on the halfway point. I gotta do something special for that, and I kind of have an idea what I want to do, but I'll keep that close to the chest for now. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Please stick around until the end of the hunt if you can, but don't if you don't, and until next time, I'll see you next time.